What's up, everyone? Mo checking in with the video. I realized that it's been a while, man. I think making those Q&A videos and posting those onto Beefheads, which if you haven't seen, go over to Beefheads and check those out, especially if you ask me a question. Go check those out. All of your answers should be there, and if they're not, let me know, and I'll answer your question. So today's video is about my top 5 muscle myths. Now, these aren't like the top 5. They're just like 5 that I kind of chose on a whim, but I think that they're important. I think they're pretty common myths, and I think that the reason that they're myths that people hang on to is because they are somewhat believable. And for a long time, they were believable and they were the norm. But I feel like, especially in the recent couple years, bodybuilding has really changed. Or fitness really in general. You guys know I usually say bodybuilding because that's what I do. It's really changed. The kind of the old school style has, people are challenging that and finding out, they're kind of reinventing the wheel, which isn't always necessary, but I'll share these with you. So, like I said, no particular order. You may disagree with me on like what the top 5 myths are, but I think these are 5 important ones. And if I think of more, I'll do another video. So, first one, muscle does not turn into fat, and fat does not turn into muscle. I think that a lot of people realize that this isn't true, but I feel like for some people, that's what you're told. I remember especially like when I was younger, I believed that too. Especially like whenever you're like younger and you're like about to hit puberty, which sucked, right? They're like, girls do this and then boys do that. And like boys, they get all this muscle. They're fat. They go from chubby little boys to big muscly men. And then somehow that got, mixed into muscle comes from fat, which is just not true, guys. I'm sure, like I said, a lot of you guys probably know that, but I'm not taking that for granted. So they're completely different tissues, in the body, and they are not interchangeable. So there's that. Second, meal timing. This is huge. Not only meal timing, but meal frequency. So like I mentioned, a lot of these myths are myths because for the longest time they've been perpetuated by magazines, by bro science, by people. Meal timing is irrelevant. I remember just a couple years ago when I was getting into bodybuilding how every freaking article you read, and even still today, they're like, you must eat 6 meals per day, spaced out, don't go, 2 or 3 hours without eating. That's perfect. If that works for you, and if that makes you feel good, if that makes you feel full all day, go for it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but they made it sound like if you didn't do that, eat 6 meals a day, 2 or 3 hours apart, you were gonna like completely lose all of your muscle, and that's just completely not true, guys. You guys may have heard of If It Fits Your Macros, or IIFYM, which is just an eating technique that allows you to, sneak in a cookie from time to time or a Pop-Tart into your meal prep. You don't always have to eat chicken and brown rice and broccoli, and it's okay. People are still losing fat. People are still building muscle, and they're not eating so many times a day. Now, like I said, there's nothing wrong if you do decide to do that, but I think it was important that some people have discovered that that's not required of you, because it's really actually quite inhibitory. Imagine, for example, as a student, for me, or if you guys have, a full-time job or kids or something like that, carrying around a lunchbox all day, every day, with 6 prepared meals, it's hard. You always have to have access to a microwave, or you're forced to eat cold food. You're carrying around this big lunchbox with, 7 Tupperwares in it. It's just like, it's annoying, it's inhibitory, and it turns out you don't have to do that. So, number 3, deadlifts and squats are bad and dangerous. Woo! This was brought to my attention because of a recent CrossFit injury that you guys may see making headlines right now. I did not personally know that guy, but he was an alumni of my university, played on the men's rugby team while I played on the women's rugby team. So very familiar with this guy that severed his spinal cord with a CrossFit injury doing a snatch. which is an Olympic lift. Well, I've been reading all these news articles and keeping up with it. There's been all these people saying people shouldn't be deadlifting that much weight, like all these hippie motherfuckers, as Chris Jones would say, saying shit like this. And first off, he wasn't deadlifting. That's just ignorant. But there are still people out there that think that if you going to pick up 300 pounds off of the floor or squatting 300 pounds is just terrible for you. Deadlifting will hurt your back. Squats are terrible for your knees. Not true. Can they be true? Yes. If you do these lifts incorrectly, sure, they could be damaging, just like anything could be. But actually, it's really, honestly, if you're doing them correctly and listening to your body, deadlifts and squats are some of the best exercises you can do. Dead serious. I mean, they're full body exercises. People don't realize that. But when you're squatting, it's not just your legs. It's your entire posterior chain. It's your glutes. It's your lower back. It's your calves. It's of course your quads and your hamstrings. Hopefully you're bracing your core. So your abs, and it's damn near a full body workout. Same with deadlifts. Really engage a lot of muscles. If you're doing it right, you can get a lot of bang for your buck. And they actually strengthen muscles that I think prevent you from getting injuries. A lot of people hurt their backs. A lot of people have bad knees and ankles and bad hips and joints. Doing those exercises strengthen those muscles around those joints that people tend to injure, which actually I feel lowers your chance of injuring them. Anyway, number 4, changing your routine for cuts and bulks. That's a big one. I think that's probably one of the myths, I think, on my list here that's probably like the most alive and well today. That if you go on a cut, let's say, you're trying to lose fat, that you should completely change your workout. Because you're eating fewer calories, that means that you should do lighter weight and fewer reps, or lightweight and really high reps because you want to tone. You guys, none of that is necessarily true. In fact, you should probably work harder when you're cutting. When I start a cut here in the future, I'm going to train no differently than I am today as someone that's bulking or maintaining, kind of. Absolutely not. Like I said, in fact, I'll probably train harder because it's, to put it kind of simply, if you maintain that hard work and you do your best to maintain your strength, naturally you're going to lose a little bit of strength. That's okay. But if you try your best, that, like I said, in kind of simple terms, it kind of reminds your body to keep that muscle, if you will. Like I said, that's really simple. But you don't have to completely change your workout. You don't have to go from, curling 30 or 40 pound dumbbells during a bulk to curling 10s for like 100 reps when you're cutting. It's actually going to be detrimental to do that, guys. So I can do a longer video on that if you want me to. But like I said, at the end of the day, don't change anything. If anything, work harder. All right, last one. This isn't so much a myth as it's a warning. And I've actually said this in previous videos before. And it's because I honestly care about you guys as my subscribers. And I want you to... I don't mean to sound harsh in these videos, but I want you to succeed. And I don't want you to get sucked up in the things that keep people from succeeding. Sorry, I just got a text from my girlfriend. Anyway, had to get it off the screen. If it's too good to be true, then it is. Don't believe a lot of the stuff that you see. Like I know I've said this in a video before, whether it was on this channel or Beefheads, but if there's some sort of workout regimen or some sort of pill or some sort of diet that's supposed to work overnight damn near, or put on so much muscle in 6 weeks or something, you guys, it's not true. It's hard. And the thing is, I completely understand how people get sucked into these things, whether you're an advanced lifter or just beginning. I think sometimes you want something so bad. You want to lose weight so badly. You want to build muscle so badly that sometimes you see something and you really want to give it a shot. It's like, oh man, I've tried everything. I've tried so hard to lose weight. I've tried so hard to put on muscle. So maybe if I try this new program, there's a small chance that it'll work, even though in the back of your mind, you know that it probably won't. Some crazy diet pill or something like that. So, like I said, keep that in mind, guys. A lot of these myths, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with. But, like I said, people that are just starting out, people that... depending on where you get your information from or who you get your information from, these are just my opinions, guys. And I've been doing this for a while. I've learned a lot from the people around me. And I think that these hold pretty true. I don't think in a couple years I'll be eating my words thinking, oh God, I was wrong the whole time. So Just putting these out there, guys. And, you know, these videos that I'm doing right now is kind of to help the, once again, to kind of help the New Year's resolution crowd or the beginner crowd. You know, I've been doing videos about, you know, I did the New Year's resolution videos, and I did the bodybuilding 101 stuff. So I want to have a channel that caters to both advanced lifters, intermediate, and beginners, because everyone deserves the same amount of attention. So, alright guys, as you know, my dog's crying. She probably needs to go outside. If you have any questions or want me to elaborate, please let me know. If you have a topic suggestion, please let me know. And more videos to come, guys. See you later.